Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Congrats on some nice profit there. If you took a long in the 101 to 105 range, that is excellent news. We're going to talk about potential for pullback and more so continuation. We're in a really good spot here. Remember we talked previously about that 114 range being extremely important. We could very well see a bullish backtest and a continuation higher. However, keep in mind, Fed meeting is tomorrow and there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now, like Bitcoin pumped by 5% in roughly a couple of hours. Okay. Now, again, not like that's anything super uncommon, but we haven't seen that kind of movement in a while, especially in light of some really bad news tomorrow. So again, Fed meeting, a lot of interesting things happening right now. So good news is SUI, Celestia, a few other coins are performing very, very well today. More so a 2x to Bitcoin, but we got to recognize there is potential for pullback at some point, right? A bit on the overextended side. So we'll talk about that. Let's look at back in liquidation data first, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you could please hit the like button. Just do that in every video. It really helps grow the channel, gets us in front of more people, and potentially get you get this, get. I don't know how to describe it. There's tons and tons of moon boys out there, and unfortunately, well, they're probably right today. But the truth is, they get a lot of views, and if you don't hit the like button, unfortunately, this will never see the light of day. And that just tends to happen. It's all good, just the way it goes, but for the most part with SUI, what we'll look at is a couple of other things here. So 120 to 130 is that heavy liquidation on the upside, and then $1 to 90 cents, even as low as 80 cents, we see some heavy concentrations down below. Again, this is basically just tells us that there's a lot of people shorting and taking longs at the same time. Makes sense. There are more longs than shorts to as far as liquidation is concerned in the last 7 days, but that makes also sense because the price is going up and people are more confident it's going to go up. Okay, and I am too, honestly. I think that the big picture here for this coin is phenomenal, and we want to recognize that while there's a lot of liquidation on the downside, I think the probability that's getting less and less. Like my thoughts was we're going to see a bounce off the 95 cent to $1 range. Instead, the price took off at 101 and essentially continued higher. So that is so typical right now. You're waiting for confirmation, and then once you get that as confirming factors, the price just moves in the opposite direction or just takes off without getting an ability to kind of get in. So unfortunately, FOMO is almost like a good thing in some cases. Sometimes you can FOMO in and actually have some good luck right now. So that's not the way I like to trade, so I'm sorry if that doesn't work well for you, but there's tons of missed opportunities in just being a patient trader. So just heads up on that. Either way you look at it, not making excuses, that is just kind of the par for the course. It's standard stuff. Let's look at the daily time frame, work our way down. So on the daily, we are testing 70 on the RSI. Okay, generally speaking, if we break through that, we'll probably see the price continue to run. But that does reaffirm that we have somewhat of resistance there at 114. We talked about that previously. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5/6 attempts to break through that level, and so far we haven't seen that. So a solid closure above 114 to me seems like a good consideration for a long. And I know it seems kind of weird to take a long at this level because it's the price is high, right? But on the same accord, if Bitcoin can successfully maintain this level, I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, keep in mind Bitcoin is being a very difficult in the late as of recent, right? Every time it gives you a bearish sign, it decides to go up, and the inverse is applying too. We're getting so many false positives, it's really hard to trust. However, SUI is not giving us those. It's giving us the indication that it's performing independent of Bitcoin. That's a very, very good sign. Granted, it's moving up when Bitcoin moves up, but it's not moving down quite as fast as others, and that's a good sign. Having said that, though, we got a lot of strength here, but we are nearing the top of this little push. Not to say it can't still go higher, it's just that for the most part, our trend strength is maxed out. Stochastic is trying to diverge for the second time. That could very well be a little stronger. And if we don't break through 70 in the RSI here soon, we'll probably see the price pull back and continue lower. Now, again, I don't think it's going to be massive. It'll probably just be filling this fair value gap or this one. It's just kind of a combination of either or. The macro still looks great as far as our ascending trend line is concerned. So if we do take a look at the SMAs, I forgot to touch on that here. We're looking good. The 20-day SMA is running concurrent with this ascending trend, and the other two, the 50 and the 100, they're both trailing behind. So we're definitely on the right side of tracks. Not to say you can't still have some luck shorting this coin. It's just not really advantageous to consider a short because it's so strong to the upside. All that being said, the 4-hour time frame is telling us a very similar circumstance here. We're now back up over the 20-day SMA. Yesterday was giving us indications of further downside, potentially bounce off this 50, which is right where we're going to get into the trade, and unfortunately that just never saw the light of day. Okay, so generally speaking, when you see these kind of situations, it can be best to be a little bit more patient and wait for confirmation. Again, I just like to reiterate and reaffirm that, because unfortunately a lot of impatient traders are very compulsive. And again, the compulsion to take along recently absolutely worked. Totally get that. And unfortunately, being patient for that $1 mark didn't essentially work out. So it's not a foolproof thing. So the whole point of me mentioning this is that we're back over the 20-day SMA, and that's usually a good trend setter. So as long as we're above that, you can presume the price is likely to go higher. Once you break below, generally the inverse. Again, it's very short term, because again, here it worked perfectly. Here it didn't, right? So that's where the 20-day SMA can be very beneficial, just kind of understanding the overall trend, not necessarily using it as an only confirming factor. You want to look at other things too. All that being said, here we're looking here. We got rejected off 70 in the RSI. That's quite standard. Stochastic RSI is starting to swing down. Money flow index pulling out. This is not a bearish sign at all. It's just implying that we're seeing that natural correction. Okay. So 4-hour time frame really looks good too. Both daily and 4-hour are fantastic. The hourly, of course, is going to tell us we're overextended. That's pretty natural in a situation like this. I mean, Bitcoin was massively overextended, and it continued even further up. Like, it literally should have topped out right here at 59.2. And it didn't. Just goes like, okay, just kidding. We're gonna screw over a lot of people, and we're gonna just pump the market. We saw billions of dollars flowed into exchanges at that one moment. Okay, so again, you can't anticipate that. Having said that, though, if we look here, how SUI responded to that was very good. You also got to recognize too, though, the price action was already like kind of overextended leading into that. Okay, so again, the Bitcoin pump, while it's all well and good, SUI is technically pulling back in light of that. It's because it already overextended itself in the previous run. Okay, so that's a good sign, honestly. It shows it's not responsive to those pumps, but it's responsive more so to natural price action. That's a very good sign. All of that being said here, let's take a look at the Ichimoku cloud and confirm we're still above the cloud. There's no reason to consider shorting this coin. 100% leave your long position open. Keep in mind, this local high here should, in fact, work as a pivot point. So hypothetically, the price continues lower. We should likely see the price continue higher if this bullish trend continues. A lot of this hinges on Bitcoin, and a lot of it hinges on the fact that we have a Fed meeting tomorrow as well. So just get ready for a disastrous run from Bitcoin tomorrow. It's probably going to be a bloody mess. Probably going to be one of these here. Choppy as all get out. Because again, it's one of the bigger fundamental catalysts coming up here tomorrow. So just be aware of that. Other than that, SUI, strong coin. I think it has my vote on a long-term, big picture, spot play for sure. We take a look at the 114 closing above that, folks. I think we're looking to be in pretty good shape. I'd love to see a couple days of consolidation at this level, and then I think we're likely to see a continuation further up from there. So this is looking really good. Either way you look at it, I appreciate you watching. Once again, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below. Join us over at BTCC as well, a new no KYC VPN required exchange with excellent benefit rewards. Link down below for that. I appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.